Hello, everyone, and welcome to another installment of Scribe Plays Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York. Where were we last time? Oh, something, vampire something. I'm sure I'll remember as we go. Let's see, I think we were at a rest point, if I'm not mistaken. That's usually my routine. Yes, so we're going to rest. A piece of paper is sticking out of you mailbox. You mailbox, all right? It's a computer printout, a note, and a screenshot from Google Maps. It reads, "Meet me at the indicated spot tomorrow at 10 p.m. I'll pick you up and we'll take it from there." Pick me up. Well, it's either going to be Sophie or Nosferatu guy, but I think it's probably Sophie. Maybe? I don't know. No signature. The place marked on the map is the lookout point near Pier 1, just next to the Brooklyn Bridge. You check the phone that Mia passed on to you. No new messages, no missed calls. It's all a bit fishy, but there's only one way to find out who addressed this to you. Oh, right, the Anarchs. I forgot about the Anarchs. I'm a good Camarilla member to forget about the Anarchs. Looks like tomorrow evening has been planned out for you. Yes. Oh, okay. Whoa. You go downstairs as soon as you wake up. One more glance at the phone, but no news from Mia. You take the car down to Brooklyn, park on Front Street, and approach the meeting spot cautiously. A figure of about Mia's size is standing there, dressed in an oversized jacket and looking out toward Manhattan. As you approach, you can hear her muttering something. "It's true, but I do not think it is true." Wait. "It is true, but I do not think it true. If I do not think it true, then it cannot be true. And if it cannot be true, then..." I'm assuming she's quoting something that I just don't get the reference to. I'm supposed to meet somebody here. I don't suppose that would be you. The woman turns around. It's not Mia. Whoever it is, you have never seen her before. She looks perfectly plain and unmemorable. "Why, yes, it's me. We are meeting now. You are meeting me. I am meeting you. Such a joyous occasion." Okay, could you put up a bigger sign that says, "I'm a Malkavian"? I'm assuming. Who knows? You turn around. 3 men, all of them burly and threatening, approach you. One of them takes the lead. "So, you got the message." Is this Callahan? "I did. Now what?" Now you'll come with us. The boss wants to meet you." Oh, this isn't Callahan. Okay. Callahan. "That's Boss Callahan to you, fuckface. I suggest you get a move on. We've got places to be." The voice of the woman keeps creeping into your consciousness, the litany of gibberish ever present throughout this entire conversation. The man cracks his knuckles. "Or we can do it the hard way." I'll go with them. This is the whole point of this entire endeavor. Yeah, okay, I'll go with you. "Smart." They lead you down the pier and onto a motorboat. The engine starts. "Put this on." He points to a cloth sack. One of the guys is holding you down. The woman is still there, whispering to herself. Somehow, you hear her voice clearly in your head. "Malkavian." It becomes a nagging suggestion to put the sack over your head. You don't really want to do it, but your hands go through the motions all the same. Okay. It takes 15 minutes or so to reach your destination, you think. The engine dies down and you are led onshore, then further, up an incline, and through some overgrowth. 10 more minutes of walking, maybe, until a deep voice reaches your ears. "Vincent, my dear boy, why the hood over our guest's face?" "Well, boss, I thought..." No, that will not do. How many times do I have to repeat myself, Vincent? You don't have to think. You have to listen and do what you're told, yes?" "Yes, boss." "Well, take that ridiculous sack off their head, will you?" The hood comes off. The owner of the deep voice is a curious sight, dressed in what can only be described as Victorian clothing, with a monocle and graying red hair. Is this Callahan? "Apologies for Vincent's unacceptable behavior. He can be a little thick sometimes. Isn't that right, Vincent? Yeah, boss. Sometimes a little. I believe you already know who I am. You're a dumb-looking motherfucker. No, I'll be respectful. You're the Anarch Baron. Ain't that the truth? Douglas Callahan is my name, but you may call me Boss. Everybody does, for good reason. I have invited you here to have a friendly chat. Now let me make myself perfectly clear. I am disappointed in you, truly disappointed, but I arranged this meeting to allow you to make amends. First, though, I have to make sure you understand what your infraction was. So, do you know why you're here? Because I wanted to meet with Torque? I'm gonna keep not talking about Sophie, even though it doesn't make any sense to me that anybody in this town is plugged in, as this guy can't already know who I am, given that I've been to Elysium, everybody's seen who I am, knows my association with Sophie, and vampires don't keep their mouths shut, even across sect lines, so anyway. Is it because I wanted to meet with Torque? Ah, yes. You're not stupid, so that's a nice change of pace. Torque is the reason you're here. Or that little angry strumpet of his, I'm told. Yes? Mia? Oh, how I'd love to get my hands on her gaunt neck and wring it until it breaks. But see, I'm a statesman, and that's not the prudent thing to do. No, indeed the prudent thing to do is tolerate both her and that blasted ebony-skinned mentor of hers. Oh, he's a racist! You folk call yourself Afro-American, correct? Bah! Back in my day, we knew what being an American meant, and it sure as hell didn't mean being black. Oh, he's a bad guy. You take that shit back or else. Please just let me go. Finish with your disgusting rant. Oh, I'll give a little attitude. Sure, I'm a hip Toreador. Finish with your disgusting rant. Oh, fledgling, you have no idea who you're messing with. He looks at you with rage in his eyes, and you feel insignificant and vulnerable. An irrational fear takes over you. Takes over you? Takes over you. Okay. You cannot speak up against this man again. You just can't. He's too terrifying. Yes, presence. And I'm assuming he's a Bruja. I'm assuming. Now that I have your full attention, I will request something from you, and you will obey me to the letter. But that comes later. First, you will answer a few questions. The first of which is, who pointed you to Mia? That is a good question. A question that Mia didn't even ask me. So, nobody, it was my idea. That doesn't make any sense, but I'm still going to try to not mention Sophie until I absolutely have to. Although I have a feeling at some point in the near future, I'm not going to have a choice. Oh, really? And what was your intention behind the meeting? No, see, that doesn't answer the question. How would I possibly know who Mia was? Okay, whatever. I needed Mia's help. I needed her help with something. Oh, come now. You have to be more specific than that. I need to know exactly what it was you discussed. I wanted her to explain the Anarchs to me. I just wanted to learn about the Anarchs, so I asked her about the movement. Oh, child, you should have come to me then. I am the Anarch movement in New York City, and nobody makes a secret out of it. You bet on the wrong horse, as I'm sure you'll soon learn. See, that wasn't hard now, was it? Of course, I can't be sure how much of what you told me was true, and how much of it is worth about as much as as yesternight's horse shit. But I'll find out. I always do. When I do, we'll have another one of these nice talks. And maybe, just maybe, you'll avoid this upcoming unpleasant episode next time. This upcoming unpleasant Okay. He gives Vince a sign and the burly man starts hitting you all over. You feel teeth, ribs, and fingers break. Your foot is mangled under Vince's boot, your shoulder dislocated, your nose wrecked. Oh my gosh. That's enough, Vincent. Leave them be. He snaps his fingers in front of your face a few times and checks if you can focus on his face. You can, but barely. I am a man of principle. Another night I would perhaps put you in a casket, dip it in concrete, and dump it in the Hudson. A favorite of mine during the Roaring Twenties. Ah, it's been a while. But like I mentioned before, I am nothing but prudent, and so the interest of this city's kindred must come before my own needs and wants. I will therefore let you continue your existence. Here's what I require in return for this boon. In return for this... Okay, this was a cheap shot kind of thing in the vampire games I'd play. It's like, you know, if a vampire does another vampire a favor, these are called boons. And boons have various levels depending on the action taken by the one vampire in favor of the other. And there's a boon called a life boon. And a life boon is one in which a vampire puts their existence at risk on behalf of the other vampire. And so effectively, the other vampire owes them their life. There was a cheap method of trying to get boons out of characters in games that I played where it's like, I've decided not to kill you. Now you owe me a boon. Like, okay. Yeah, but anyway. You are forbidden to meet Torque. I will keep an eye on him. Sorry, I will keep an eye on you on him. I will keep an eye on you on him. Okay. If you want a place with the Anarchs, you go through me and only me. Got it? After you beat the crap out of me? Yeah, sure. You have to understand, what I made my associates do to you tonight was just business. We can still work out a mutually beneficial relationship. In fact, it's either that or your final death. Sounds fair. Time to go, Vincent. Take the boat back. Leave the fledgling here. I think they have a lot to think about. What? So I'm staying here with Boss Callahan? Or I'm staying on the island? What? Sure thing, boss. Pleasure making your acquaintance. Wait, so... Leave the fledgling... maybe I'm misunderstanding the geography of everything. I don't know New York that well, so... Okay, anyway. Callahan walks away, as do Vince and his band of thugs. You lie on the ground for a while longer, feeling the blood slowly putting your body back together, your hunger growing. You can hear the beast calling, for sustenance, for safety, for revenge, a distant but pronounced third desire. It's not until you mend yourself enough to appear more as a mugging victim than an impossibly mangled walking cadaver that you hail a passing taxi passing... You hail a passing taxi passing and head back to your haven. The whole way there, you are tempted by the beast. Your driver, a 30-something with a strong Slavic accent and an unpronounceable name on his ID, keeps asking if he should drive you to the hospital. You keep declining, all the while thinking that if you could only ask him to pull over for 5 minutes, you could feast on his warm blood to the beast's content. Drink him whole. Nobody would know. Nobody but his wife and kids, if he has them. Nobody but his boss and coworkers. Nobody but you as you look in the mirror tomorrow. Keeping your hunger at bay was never before as difficult as it is tonight. The driver stops at your apartment building. There's nobody around. You can do it. Do it. Now. Now! No. You pay the driver and walk out. Fast. Leave the car behind. Don't look back. Look back. Walk back. Feed. Am I not going to be given a choice in this thing? Because the old rule of do not shit where you eat kind of lives here. So if I make a corpse right outside my apartment building, not exactly a smart move. So am I going to be forced by the story to do so? No. Through the door, up the stairs, key in the lock, open the apartment, walk in, lock yourself in. Okay. The familiar four walls of your haven are a blessing. The beast inside you keeps nagging, but you kept it at bay tonight. Not a small feat, given your state. You are still weak. You're still not quite mended. You need to rest. Tomorrow, you will have to feed again. Tomorrow, you will have to consider your next move. Callahan is not the kind of man who quits. But tonight, you rest. I guess I do. Waking up tonight feels different for two reasons. For one, you are pleasantly surprised that your body mended reasonably well while you were resting. It comes with a caveat, though. The hunger you feel is pronounced. The beast like a black dog on the edge of your vision, following you. Oh yes, Black Dog! That classic film with Patrick Swayze and Meatloaf. But what is truly remarkable is waking up to the tune of an old cell phone ringtone. An unknown number is calling the phone you got from Mia. You pick up. Kept that old thing charged after all, huh? You all right? Cut to the chase. Is the meeting set up or not? What, not a fan of small talk? Good, me neither. Calling with some news. Torque has agreed to meet you. There's a pub in the Bronx, Solids and Stripes. Solids and Stripes, okay. Be there tonight. Two things. No drinking on the premises, so if you want to grab a snack, do it before setting foot in the borough. And this is an exclusively no-powers meeting. We'll be rubbing shoulders with commoners the whole evening, and also we don't trust you, so keep it casual or you'll blow it. Anything you'd like to add? Callahan forbade me from meeting Torque. I'm gonna be honest about that. Yeah, I met Callahan yesterday. He kicked my ass and forbid me from meeting Torque. I'm not sure I should be there tonight. Silence on the line. Fuck. More silence. I can't promise you any protection on your way back, way there or back, but at the pub you'll be in Torque's domain. For all his posturing, Callahan doesn't have the balls to strike Torque directly. We'll post additional lookouts on watch. That's the best I can do. If Callahan got under your skin, I get it. I was in that spot once or twice too. All I've got to say is, the risk is worth it. If you don't show tonight, I won't blame you. But it's a one-time offer only. You gotta hedge your bets. Just don't do anything stupid. You meet with us tonight, it better be in good faith. She ends the call. First things first, you take the subway to York Street Station, walk to Front Street, retrieve your car, and weigh your options while driving back to your haven. All right, okay. I need to feed. Wait, feeding trust your intuition. So wait, if I go and feed, do I not go to the meeting? Tell Sophie you can't meet with Torque. Drive around before going to the meeting. Go to the meeting directly. I don't know what my options are here, or what the consequence... I mean, the first three are pretty obvious. This one doesn't tell me anything. Trust my intuition. I'm going to feed, because I have a feeling if the beast is on me when I go to the meeting, that's not going to be a good scene. You've been doing this for a good few nights. You're getting a feel for it. You're learning what kind of predator you are and what kinds of blood you crave. So you're caught up in yesterday's problems, and in this cloak and dagger debacle you're now a part of, that the hunt feels almost automatic and casual tonight. You're so caught up in yesterday's problems and in this cloak and dagger... Okay. A fragment of you surrenders control. Oh no. Just minutes after you find your victim, coax them, and drink from them, you find you've forgotten their face and how they were dressed. It only hits you once you look at yourself in your car's rearview mirror. That was wrong. You can't let this become the norm. You hurt somebody, a human being. You're a monster. You need to stay mindful of this. You're a monster. But unless you let yourself off the hook, you can hold on to your humanity and not let yourself slide down this spiral. Instead of clearing your mind, this clouded it further, and you are still no closer to a decision. And I'm still got the blood around the frame, so it didn't actually... Okay. Drive around before going to the meeting, just to see if I can spot a tail. You do intend to visit Torque tonight, but you decide to drive around a bit first. Something tells you there might be somebody tailing you. It sounds sensible to try and lose them. You spend a good 2 hours looking in your rearview mirror and driving all over the city before finally driving to the Bronx. You take some basic precautions as you enter Torque's turf. You park a few streets over from where the pub is and walk towards it while keeping an eye out for anyone suspicious. That kindred, for the most part, look no different than regular people, makes things complicated, of course. If you're being followed or watched, it's going to be hard to tell. You reach the pub, shoot a final glance around, there's nobody suspicious around as far as you can see, and open the door. The smell of cigarettes is overwhelming. well, you don't need to breathe, so you can just not sniff. The whole place has an aura about it, a constant fog hanging right under the ceiling. That would be the cigarette smoke? The lethargic fans do nothing to disperse it. Yeah. The constant crack of billiard balls and clinking of glasses tells you all you need to know about the clientele. Does it, though? Not a very vampiric place at all. Isn't it, though? You're wondering if you got the address right. What is it supposed to look like? Is it supposed to be all like Gothic architecture and like chains and spikes everywhere? Do you understand what like hiding in plain sight means, oh character of mine? Jeez. What? Okay. You apparently did. Mia's here. She motioned you over to one of the few tables around. Took your sweet time to get here. What, cold feet? Never mind. Anyone following you? Not that I know of. Fair enough. Before I introduce you, there's some outstanding business to discuss. You did well enough at the bar, I guess. There are plenty of Sams in this city, but I think I have a good theory on who it was who sent But I think I have a good theory on who it was who sent Bruce to spy on me, so thanks for that. Okay. Torque was happy enough with the results you got, too. Here's your chance. Don't blow it. Boy, this Torque guy better be something impressive. I tell you what, all this build-up. You walk around one of the tables. A guy in a coat and hat leans over to take his shot. He's way ahead of his opponent. The table is clear of his balls, save for the 8-ball in a tricky position. Hey, they're here. Be with you in just a moment. The hit is fast, precise, and sends the black ball exactly where its player wanted it. His opponent lets out a frustrated sigh. That's that. I believe that's 150 American dollars, Joey. You want to pay up now, or up the stakes again? The disgruntled man accepts his defeat and pays up, then declares he's going to grab another beer. To the victor go the spoils. Thank you kindly. He turns his full attention to you. The man is good-looking, if somewhat gaunt and intense. His eyes especially seem to pierce right through to your core, but not in an unpleasant way. Name's Torque. I believe you're Scribe, Sophie Langley's new plaything. Is that right? Oops. Well, yeah, see, and this is the thing, is like, go undercover, don't tell anybody I'm associated with you. Well, I never did. But of course, how could I keep that secret after going to Elysium? How does everybody always know that? Am I really going to play that stupid? Or is my character that dumb? Just be honest, that's right. Yeah, Mia told me as much. How... Okay, how did Mia know? I never mentioned Sophie's name. At every single instance where Sophie's name came up, I did not mention it. How did Mia know? Forgive my being real with you right off the bat, but I like to know who it is I'm dealing with. So here's something that I've been scratching my head about. If you're with Langley, and Langley's cam through and through, I'm told, what is it you've come to accomplish here tonight? Sophie wants to meet with you. Don't ask why. She didn't tell me. She just said it has something to do with gathering allies against Boss Callahan. I'm here to arrange that meeting. Okay, I did my mission. I never mentioned Sophie's name. How did Mia know? And again, I could say, okay, well, I showed up at Elysium, etc., but they never... Okay. The fuck? I knew nothing about this, T. They lied to me. What do you mean they knew nothing? He just told me that you told him that I'm with Sophie Langley. Did I forget some part of the story where she knew I was with Sophie Langley? I could have sworn that at every turn... Okay, alright. Admittedly, it's been a couple of days since we were in that scene, so if I... Okay. Mia's furious. I'm a little bit perturbed myself. She's looking at the pool cue and at you as if she was figuring out the best combination for the two. It's fine. I appreciate the honesty, even if you weren't straight with my second in command. That I don't appreciate. Okay, and audience, this is me being a human being. Am I forgetting at some point that either by accident or by force of the narrative I revealed I was associated with Sophie Langley? Because I could have sworn I made every attempt at every juncture never to pick an option that mentioned Sophie's name. Okay, I'll... Deep breath. Well, 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 ain't that an interesting proposition? You can't be seriously thinking about meeting with Langley. She's hardline Cam. It's a trap. It must be. It just might be. It just might. He looks at you, pierces you with his unnaturally keen eyes. He's about to say something when a door opens at the back of the room. Hey, Torque, you, got a guest. They're in the back. Mia, won't you be a dear and keep our new friend company? I'll see what the commotion is. Sure thing. Torque tips his hat to you and walks to the back, joining the man who called for him. Mia glowers at you, this time weighing one of the pool balls in her hand. She looks like she has half a mind to chuck it at your face. You gotta be quite happy with yourself, bluffing your way in here. If you knew that I was with Sophie Langley, how was I bluffing anything? If you knew that information to tell Torque, to tell me that you told him, what kind of bluffing was I doing? I never said I was with the Camarilla, right? I picked the I'm just an independent option. I never associated myself with the Cam or with Sophie. I picked every option that did not say anything about me being associated with the Cam or Sophie. I'm 95% sure this is the case. I can't remember if there was at some point in the narrative where by no choice of my own I mentioned it. If that happened, okay. But all the same, why is she acting like this is a big surprise if she knew enough to tell Torque that I was with Langley? I know I'm dwelling on this more than I should, but it's really, really breaking of my, suspension of disbelief if I end up in these situations. Bluffing your way in here. Sorry, it's, hey, whatever works. I got the message across, and that's what matters. Achieving your goal no matter the cost, even if you have to lie and cheat your way into people's good graces? Fucking hell, the Cam's got you good, fledgling. Here I was beginning to think you might make a good addition to our little family. There's a whole lot of trust you'll have to regain before that happens now. How could I possibly regain your trust after that? I'm a Camarilla spy. You understand vampires live forever? Memories don't really fade with these guys. If I'm a Camarilla spy now, I'm a Camarilla spy forever. It doesn't really go away. I can earn trust back into the Anarchs after this. Man, the Anarchs have changed a lot since the last time I played this game. Torque appears from a door at the back and calls across the room. Yo, Mia, can I grab you for a second? Scribe, get over here too. You go to the back room. It's basically a storage area with a single wooden desk. It's pretty cramped, especially considering there's 5 other people. There are 5 other people in there with you. Why using a contraction there? There are. Why? Okay. Is the narrator me? Is the narrator another character? Anyway. Torque ushers you in and closes the door behind you and Mia. 2 burly dudes are holding somebody down. A familiar voice reaches your ears. Motherfuckers, you're gonna pay for this, you hear me? The boss is gonna fuck you up so bad, you have no idea. Have you had the doubtful pleasure of meeting Mr. Cerruti before, Scribe? Yeah, we met yesterday. You're fucked. You're so fucked you don't even know it, you stupid piece of shit. I should have ended you yesterday. The boss told you to stay away. You should have listened. That's a story and a half, ain't it? Vince, calm down now and tell me how many of your guys are still out there on my turf, Go fuck yourself. You're done. The boss will know this stupid piece of shit fledgling came here. He knows they're with Langley. You know what that means, Torque. I didn't mention Sophie to anybody. I didn't. I know it. This episode, I had the option to say I'm with Sophie, and I didn't say that. I said I was trying to meet Torque. All right, this game is very frustrating. If making choices based on your character's needs, wants, and desires are going to have those choices absolutely ignored, and you be held to the consequences of things you did not do over the course of the narrative. Okay. No, I don't. What does it mean, Vince? Now the boss can wipe you out. He'll just say you're sucking Langley's tits, and all those buddies of yours, gone. You're done, Torque. Well now, if that's the case, I guess we're rid of New York City of your toady ass won't make things any worse, will it? Actually, there's an idea. Vince mentioned that he beat you up yesterday. Did I hear that right, Scribe? You want to repay the favor? It's your turf. I'm going to respect your domain. How's that? It's your turf, Torque. I think you should deal with him. That's a fair point of view. He takes an old pool cue and breaks it over his knee. Hold him down, bros. Don't you fucking do it, Torque. Don't. Torque takes the sharp piece of wood and jabs it into Vince's chest. His features grow slack, his entire body inert. He doesn't even give out a yelp. Take him downstairs. Let's keep Callahan guessing about what happened to his favorite puppy. I'll figure out what to do with that cum guzzler later. The other two anarchs who held Vince down before take him out of the room. As entertaining as that was, I think Vince, in his unmatched wisdom, shared more than Callahan would hope for. This changes things. Ever heard about Operation Lights Out, Scribe? It was a Second Inquisition effort here in New York City. A single night of raids at a magnitude never seen before or since. The Ivory Tower got away with just a few losses here and there. No major players were hit. They managed to find safe spots and stay out of the eye of the shitstorm. Us, though, we got hit hard, all over town. Havens were rooted out, entire coteries and safe houses gone, just like that. Nobody saw it coming. I barely got out in one piece. Mia looks at him with concern and puts a hand on his arm. He shrugs it off, gently but surely. Others, like my child Bob, or Mia's sire, extinguished. But you know who got out without a scratch? Callahan. We've thought about it for the past few years. How is it that Big B managed to excuse himself from the Staten Island Museum? How is it where we used to meet, just before the vans full of guys in body armor show up? How is it that as my baby is burning up after being shot with incendiary rounds, I also see Doug Callahan running with his tail between his legs, pushing fledglings like you in the path of the SI? We think the bastard knew what was coming, and he set us up. Not just us. Some of our brothers and sisters who got hit had some of the lowest profiles in this city's lick population. The moral of the story? Callahan is an opportunistic motherfucker. And if even his thickest followers suggest he's going to sell me out, then that's what he's going to do, sure as the sun rises. He pauses for a moment, and you see him reach a decision. You said something about Langley having an offer for me. It might be your fault in part that I'm at this juncture, but now's going to be as good a time as any to listen to what she has to say. I don't think that's wise, T. Well, what would you have me do then? You said it yourself. It's all this fledgling's fault. They brought this on us, so let's use them as a bargaining chip. Callahan wants them, Langley needs them. They're valuable. Me valuable? I'm just a pawn, and I'm right about that. No, you're wrong. I'm just a pawn. That's why Sophie sent me here. Plausible deniability and all that. I'm expendable. The realization that you just summarized the entirety of the last 2 weeks or so hits you hard. But if there was a moment to be honest with yourself, it's now. So this entire time I didn't understand my role in all of this? Okay. Fuck! Did I just make too much sense? Did you not figure that? Who's the more experienced vampire here? Come on. The man puts a hand on Mia's shoulder. She calms down a bit. We're afraid, Scribe. But then, what else is new? It's a paradox being who we are. The hunter one night, the hunted the other. Masters of the night, slaves to dawn. A duality to everything. Mia, I understand your concern, but I need you to trust me like you did before. This is my call and my responsibility. You can give me shit about it later, like I'm sure you will. Count on it. He smiles, then takes on a no bullshit look and points at you. 3 conditions. First, you come pick me up personally and bring me to the meeting spot. Anything goes sideways, it's your ass. Second, Mia's coming with me. No 2 ways about it. 8 eyeballs in the meeting, the 2 of you, the 2 of us, nobody else. And third, the meeting is in public, downtown, some spot frequented by mortals. We see you take us anywhere fishy, we check out and fuck you up as a message to Langley. I count on it not coming to that, though. You seem likable enough. The cam hasn't gotten its talons in you yet. Keep it up, and maybe you'll come to the same conclusion we did in your own time. The cam hasn't gotten its talons in me yet. I put my entire existence at risk to try to bargain a deal with the Anarchs without any backup, without any foreknowledge of what I'm getting into, and the cam hasn't gotten its talons in me yet. Okay. I'm going to be the good little messenger, though. I'll repeat your conditions to Sophie. I'll make sure to repeat your conditions to Sophie. You do that. Best to be on your way. Ask for me here when you need me. The bartender knows how to get in touch. Just ask him to put the owner on the line. Mia walks you to the door and accompanies you to your car. Listen, about what I said before. Yeah, what about it? I panicked. That's all it was. It was unfair, what I said. If anything, it's my fault. I'm angry with myself, and that makes me angry with you. What? I mean, I did lie to you. I did use you for somebody else's gain in the camera. Okay. Some of these characters don't make any sense to me whatsoever. Ah, forget it. See ya. She starts walking back to the bar as you start the engine and head back to Sophie's apartment. Time to give Sophie the good news. She welcomes you as openly as ever, clearly excited to see you and for what news you might bring. Yes, news.
Good evening, Scribe. How is your task going? You have something for me, perhaps?
It's done, but cost me dearly. Yes. I did what you asked, but I got into some serious trouble. They almost killed me.
Killed you? Who? Slow down. Tell me what happened.
Callahan's goon threatened Torque. Callahan forbade me from meeting Torque. Boss Callahan's goons grabbed me yesterday and forced me to meet with him. He was very clear that I cannot be seen talking to Torque or he'll have me killed. I went and did it anyway.
I appreciate your dedication. I really do. I'm sorry if you got hurt. Thank you for following through. Well, let's hear it. What did Torque agree to?
You relay the Anarch leader's conditions. You were to pick him and Mia up. The meeting should only include the four of you, and it should be held in a public space.
Those are all fair. Although I do worry about that Mia character. Tell me, do you think she's trustworthy?
Torque trusts her. Well, Torque trusts her, so we can too, I think.
Very well. As for the place, I wonder if they would agree to meeting in Hudson Yards, the vessel. Plenty of tourists visit that place, but if we go there after midnight...
She seems to have made up her mind.
Yes, bring them there tomorrow night. Look for me near the top level.
Will they agree to meeting in the city? He just said downtown. Of course he will. What will you discuss with him? Tomorrow so soon? Why not? Okay, what will you discuss? These other two questions seem ridiculous to me, so anyway. What's so important that you can't just send him a letter or something? It's not about the import, it's about the verification. It's about establishing a... Am I really this silly? Okay.
You'll be there to find out. Pick them up at midnight, then drive them to Midtown. That's the plan. I'll be waiting as long as it takes. Within reason.
He said downtown, not Midtown, but I guess I'm the only one paying attention to the narrative sometimes.
I'm counting on you, Scribe. The final puzzle piece is about to find its way to its destination. After that, we will all get our just reward. You, me, the Camarilla, even the Anarchs. Okay, that doesn't sound ominous. I could kiss you.
Yes, you'd like that. You desire it. She must have caught it in your expression. She smiles.
A figure of speech, darling. Or at least it is tonight. But a few nights from now, who knows? I am growing fond of you, and success whets my appetite for these kinds of things.
The sexual tension in the room becomes unbearable until it suddenly disappears. Was this another one of Sophie's tricks, or an actual spark of arousal in both of you, your undead bodies?
You certainly felt the blood flow through you for a short moment. The warmth in your groin takes you by surprise. You didn't think you could do that anymore. Or did you just imagine it? And use the rest of the night well, Scribe, and rest. We are but a day's sleep away from shaking this city awake. Is Sophie a member of the Sabbat? Is she a secret member of the Sabbat? That would be kind of interesting. I don't know. I'm going to end this part here, even though we have half the night left, because that was quite a chunk of information to deal with and quite a bunch of narrative frustration to dwell on. But if you like this kind of content, please let me know in the comments below. Leave a like if you would. And, as always, thank you for watching.